Hey psychos, watch the merchandise. Well, bro toys are ready to go. Demon hunting with the 1/12th Demon Hunters, which are basically third-party Dante and Nero from Devil May Cry. I really enjoyed playing Devil May Cry. I can remember being at university in Liverpool during the early 2000s and playing Devil May Cry on my flatmate's PlayStation 2. I think it was. And the Devil May Cry series has spawned all sorts of media, including anime and novels. If you're unaware of it or haven't played it, Dante, and later on in the series, Nero are the main protagonists, fighting demons and monsters on Earth in a John Wick gunplay meets Resident Evil vibe. And we have had a Dante action figure from NECA, and both Dante and Nero from 1,000 toys in 1/12th scale. But here is a third-party option with Bro Toys. I personally really like the face sculpt for Dante, but I've heard mixed reviews from collectors. These are both available to pre-order now on 5K Toys, and hopefully Bro Toys might consider making the Devil Trigger forms and Virgil. So what do you think of these? Have you played Devil May Cry? Let me know in the comments below. So I really like Dante. I've played Devil May Cry, as I mentioned the first game, and perhaps you need some bad guys of a supernatural nature for Dante and Nero to kill. And the keep going skeletons might be just the trick. More on those later in the episode.
And let us know what Devil May Cry characters, bosses and more you'd like to see in action figure form. I can remember the first boss from the first game being a big lava-covered spider that might make for a very unique action figure, a bit like how unique Gargantos is in the Gameverse Marvel Legends line. And here is the Keep Going Studios skeletons that Mark mentioned, and these can find their way into many displays including Mythic Legions, or fighting Bro Toys Dante and Nero, or mixing it up with Mezco 1/12 Doc Natural, or even your Storm Collectibles Golden Axe figures, although there might be a bit of scale issues as those figures are more 1/10 in scale.
So keep going. 1/12 skeletons can be added to the growing choices for 1/12 skeletons we have, as mentioned by Libby. Lots of lines they will be compatible with. And welcome back to TAKTAK Toys episode 92 of Flicks and Figs. So yeah, we have seen Bro, Toys, Devil Hunter A, K.A. Devil, May Cry figures, and some skeletons which could sit in some great Golden Axe Storm Collectibles toy photography and keeping it with Storm Collectibles and video game action figures. We'll be looking at Clark Still from King of Fighters 98. So welcome back to TAKTAK Toys in 2026. Grab some figures from the display and have a pose and play. 6-inch action figure news. I always appreciate your likes and views. Yak a deep yak. Here's TAKTAK.
And maybe you want some Sonic figures, yeah, do ya? Well, here they are paired up with DC characters, such as Wonder Woman, Flash, and Green Lantern. Now I'm double checking if this is 6-inch DC figures. They look a little basic, so I'm not sure. And we are all about the 6-inch action figure news here.
Okay. And so those DC crossover figures with Sonic are 4 or 5 inch. I actually wouldn't mind some 1/12 versions, but getting back to some 1/12 goodness regarding DC. Here's the Gong Studios Hush Batman. And the Hush Batman came before this Superman. The thighs articulation points were a bit noticeable through the skin-tight costume. And it's more of the same here. Poison Ivy controlled Superman can be displayed using the available accessories, or just a regular classic Superman. And these are officially licensed by DC. And then from a classic Superman to Star Wars the Black Series. A few reveals largely from the prequels, which Black Series fans seem very happy with. The prequels, a time when characters like Jar Jar Binks and Watto and the Trade Federation, who basically took stereotypes and turned them into characters, and for some reason George Lucas thought this was a good idea. Well, here we have Watto, and it seems Black Series fans have wanted Watto to join Anakin in their collection for the longest time. Kids from 1999 such got a lot of content regarding trade routes in space. You know the stuff all kids are mad for. Who needs lightsaber fights when you can have galactic politics?
And then from the Star Wars Force Unleashed video game, we have Lord Starkiller here, as a deluxe figure, and he does look pretty good. If you have a collection of Expanded Universe Black Series characters, here's another one to add to the collection.
And feel free to check out Tom Mini Plastic Multiverse and his epic toy photography. Here is the Thames Studio Death Star Supervisor, doing a little less supervising and more frontline action with a rebel in a chokehold. Feel free to check out Tom's Instagram and a list of great YouTubers, Instagram accounts and UK action figure retailers are all below in the comments below. And from a galaxy far, far away we could down to the realms of Third Earth, or at least a place within that universe as Super 7 Ultimates are doing tiger sharks, and with Thundercats covering the land and Silverhawks covering the air, both of which are being done in Ultimates form, we move into the last trio of cartoon to action figures from Rankin Bass, the Tiger Sharks. Now, I don't think Tiger Sharks ever came out on TV in the UK, correct me if I'm wrong, but the characters would look right at home next to your Super 7 Ultimates, Thundercats and Silverhawks collection, so stay tuned for that. For now, we have this tease of the logo from Super 7. And keeping it with a nautical theme, like a fish out of water, we go from Tiger Sharks to Mezco 112, the Decapod gang crab Louis. He's the sadistic seafaring enforcer of the Decapod gang in his heavy knit sweater, work trousers with suspenders sailor cap and sea-worn dock boots. And just reading that description makes me think you could do some epic toy photography with the Mezco 1. 12 Popeye if you wanted to keep things in the realm of Mezco 112. Or if you wanted to branch out beyond that, then the upcoming Nautical Mythic Legions wave would be a really nice accompaniment to this guy. Unfortunately, Crab Louis is on the wait list at the Mezco 112 site, so he is proving popular. And there are actually two versions of Crab Louis that I didn't realise. So apologies about that, this is the capo version in a suit. He's like a union guy who has risen through the ranks and now only answers to the Carborn brothers, shown here in their radioactive form. Equal parts style and savagery. 3 interchangeable glow in the dark portraits, posable wire in their overcoats, and as you can imagine with Mezco 112, these guys are absolutely stacked with accessories. "21 interchange hands, for example, between the two of them. So Doc Noctural Shadow Edition is going to have his hands full dealing with Crab Louis Capo Edition and the radioactive racketeers. When the lights go out, the real bosses come out to play. The Decapod gang doesn't just run Providence, they haunt it. Crime never sleeps, it waits. As they tighten their grip on the city's black market, the Carborn brothers run the organised crime whilst Crab Louis is their muscle. Can Doc Nocturnal dismantle the crime syndicate, or has he met his match? So there is some classic gangster backstory to these characters, with Dark Shadow Doc Nocturnal standing in their way. Mezco 112 is the boss round here, see? Mezco's gonna put the screws to you, I tell ya. You'll be sleeping with the fishes, or at least playing with them in some epic toy photography.
So if you like anchor characters in black, we go from Doc Nocturnal to Thames Studio Death Star Supervisor. And here he is from Tom Mini Plastic Multiverse, who unlike the lineup of bounty hunters assembled, doesn't like disintegration. I'm just putting that out there in case you were wondering. Right then, and seeing the Guilty Land Postman here makes me think of Posts, which is linked to social media, so with that in mind let's have some shoutouts. So feel free to check out these YouTube channels and Instagram accounts and UK and international action figure retailers. List of YouTubers: Dan Who Reviews, Wolfpack Toy Review, Hero of Collectors, 1, 6th Shooter, Brian's Action Figure Reviews, Toy Picks. Cypher Sigma. Why So Serious Toys. Jay's Toy Collection UC. Infinity Equation. AC Toy Design. Robo Don't Know. Just Justin Collects. Modstra. Encountered Culture. Independent UK action figure retailers. Kapow Toys. Comics and Cocktails. Whole Shebang. Star Action Figures. Emporium of Cool. Props and Replicas. In-Demand Toys. Gobsmack Comics. All the Cool Stuff. US-based comic and action figure store. Quinn Comics. Instagram. Mini Plastic Multiverse. What's Up, Danger. Mikey Moon Boots. Culls_Cave. Compulsive Collector. Figure Cave Collectibles.
Thanks, Libby. So lots of great YouTube channels. Action figure retailers both UK and US based, and Instagram accounts to check out there. And you probably saw a few things to mention mixed in there, such as the Tamashii Nations effect pieces, the Mythic Legions Highland Warrior if you want some excellent Celtic action in your action figure collection. And the Whaleworks 1/12 body, and on that amazing Yamaguchi style body we have a Mezco Toys Invincible coming. And if you like even more options for your Invincible figures, of course Jada will be doing animated style Invincible figures. And Zoom Rig will be doing an On Me Man variant. And LPZZ are currently asking collectors the level of interest if LPZZ were to do a comic-based Invincible line. Nothing is confirmed yet. But I'd absolutely love this. Yes, these figures would be pricey, probably around £80 or $80 per figure, but the roster could be massive, and again, that excellent quality that LPZZ seem to be rocking, just like InArt would be on show. You could have Jada for the domestic animated Invincible option and LPZZ for the comic Invincible options if they go ahead with this potential action figure line, and Zoom Rig and Mezco Toys for third-party options based on the animated series. What a great time to be an Invincible fan, which I include myself in that club. Diamond Select obviously gave us Invincible figures, but it's looks like ones with much better articulation are on the horizon. And speaking of things that are on the horizon, Invincible has been to space as well as Earth-based adventures. And we have had more basic articulated Invincible figures and are now getting much more modern updated articulation ones. And with all that in mind, let's close things out for this episode of Flicks and Figs with a look at the McFarlane page. Puncher's Green Lantern space-based adventures with a unique style of articulation. And also the Flash from the Page Puncher's 7-inch line. Well, that's it. This episode was over in a flash. Let me know what you saw that you liked the look of. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Please smash the hype button. And if you can do, please consider becoming a channel member, and feel free to check out any of my previous content on the channel. And until next time, take care of yourself, keep enjoying your action figure collection, and enjoy those flicks and figs.